Welcome everybody to the team call. We're both on Zoom and Facebook Live inside of the team page today, so multiple audiences, which is awesome. But I'm super excited about this topic. You know, I send out a weekly email on Sundays, and I was going to talk about human behavior. And I think that's important, but I had this other feeling over yesterday night, actually, and then today, that I was going to talk about what is actually freaking working. Like, what is working for Scotty? Because just to be vulnerable with you guys, I've been a coach for 6.5 years, and there has been different times when I've always worked. I'm a person that will always show up no matter what. So that is true. But there are times when I've been super fired up and excited about work and loved it. And there's times that I walk in like not excited about it, and I do my work and it's not with the right mindset, not with the right energy. And then obviously the results are not in the right place. So there's a little quick hint to success right there. So I've had those over the time. So it's like, what's working? Like, why am I in the best position ever right now in my Team Beachbody business? And what I want you guys to understand is the best position ever does not mean that we make the most money or we're the highest rank. Don't get that mistaken for being in the best place and being the most fulfilled, we'll say that, in your work. But on the other hand, when you are in the best place yourself personally and fulfilled by your work, the money and the income will follow. So I think that's important to understand, the two sides of that. Success does not equal money or rank or income. But on the other hand is when you are dialed in on your purpose, you love what you do, and you're in your sweet spot, we'll call it, or your zone. If you can stay in that place, the results are going to follow. Okay, so I was initially going to talk about human behavior. If you want a little bit about that or a little understanding about what I was going to talk about, I actually talked about it yesterday on my live video in the morning, and then today just on my personal page. I didn't do it in a Beachbody training format. I did it in a life training. Like, if you're depressed, stressed, anxious, feel not worthy, any of these things, this is how you change it. And then that was yesterday. And then today I talked about letting go of things you don't have control over and focusing on the things that you do have control over and what that'll do for your life in that same aspect. So I guess that topic of human behavior, let's just talk about why I'm in the best place I'm at in my business and what's working for me. So maybe that can help you guys figure out what's going to work best for you. Because remember, each and every one of us is so different. But one thing that I learned from, and I'm going to teach some more stuff from, one thing I learned at the event with Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk was, you got to work and bleep, 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 bleep. That's what I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk. I absolutely loved his speech. But one thing that I learned, one thing I took away from Gary was you got to add value, add content, create content consistently over time. And he basically said you got to eat shit for years if you want to be truly successful long-term and adding value to people and adding value in the marketplace. So it went back to his summit keynote from years ago on you just got to be patient. And he called us all out as Beachbody coaches. You guys aren't patient. Many of you guys, we're all so new in this still in the long-term scheme of business. So that's what I learned from him. But Tony Robbins made the hugest impact on me. I've always wanted to go to a Tony Robbins event. I've seen him before. We only had 4 hours with him, but I'm committed to going probably in March to unleash the power within. I believe what I got out of Tony in 4 hours was, and this is me being vulnerable with you guys, where there's like 4 years of weekly counseling and therapy in 4 hours. Like, I believe that is what I got out of him. I believe Gabby got the same out of him in that short amount of time. So we're definitely going to go spend 4 days or 3 days with him, however long that is, in March. But everything that he teaches has to do with human behavior, okay? And so I'm just going to tell you guys this briefly. I'll teach you briefly in a few seconds what I learned from him. Is each and every one of us has a home-based emotion, okay? And a home-based emotion is that place you go to when you're stressed, you're tired, you're anxious, you're hungry. It's the feeling that you often express or that comes out of you. Mine is not feeling good enough or not worthy. So I feel sad. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'll never be good enough. That's my home base emotion. And despite all the accolades you see as a Beachbody coach, I still face those every single day. I knew that you were going to say that, Juliana, because I saw the way you nodded when I said it. I saw your behavior, the way you reacted when I said that. But that's mine. And like, for example, Gabby's is anger. Like if she's tired or stressed or hungry, it comes out in anger. So we all have a home-based emotion. It's the place we go to when we feel any of those things. But anyway, what I learned in the 4 hours with him is that we can change that state. And he gave us a few tips on how to do that. And the first one is just recognize that that's an emotion that, it's hard to teach in like a 4 hour thing in like a couple minutes, but it's first just identifying, becoming self-aware and understanding that's what you do is feel that thing, that emotion, whatever it is. And then you just have to realize that he says it's like a thousands of year old thought that somebody had about themselves that we accept in our lives. You just have to take a step back and look at it as an emotion. Okay, here's that feeling of I'm not good enough. I don't have to accept that feeling. But it's not just as simple as I don't have to accept that feeling. He gave us this activity of just closing our eyes, and he walked us through it personally there, but basically what it was is close your eyes and visualize and envision and remember 3 times of the most gratitude you ever felt. Like the moments that you are most grateful in your life, to really think about and experience that again, like with your eyes closed, experience what that felt like. And so we did that, and like the whole room did that of thousands of people, and almost every person, when we opened our eyes, everybody was like in tears because they were remembering that. And it looks like he did that at GoPro with you, Juliana. But the answer is, he had you like think about like maybe you're angry or you're upset or you don't feel good enough. What is the emotion that you should be feeling? And it always came back to love. So it's feeling and understanding love. So I want you guys to realize that when you're working with, and this is a long topic, you could study by watching Tony Robbins on YouTube and whatnot. So I won't go into detail on that. But you have to realize that a lot of times you guys are looking for the magic key on how to invite somebody, how to script somebody, how to coach train somebody in a Coach Basics or run the perfect challenge group or this and that. But it all comes down to understanding humans and their human needs and what their emotions are and what they want and what they don't want, and understanding human behavior. And if you can first master that in yourself, then you can begin to understand human behavior in other people and know what triggers them, know what inspires them, know what drives them. And then you can just help them, one human to the next, to offer them what we have. And to be honest, what we have, like as we study like with Tony Robbins, is the ability to change your state from a state of sadness or depression or anger into a happiness. And that all comes down to and comes back to getting active. Like he says, motion creates emotion. So what do we have to offer people? Getting them into motion, getting them off the couch, getting them moving, getting them active. He talks about when you don't eat the right foods, your body responds negatively and you get depressed and you get sad or you get tired, and food does not fuel the body. For the most time, most of the way that people eat, they eat food and it drains their body. So all of these things that I'm talking to you guys about, the way that we can help people change their life, live happier, be more joyful, it's everything we have to offer. So I think first and foremost, we have to remember that. Getting them active, making sure they're feeding their bodies right, they're cutting out sugars, cutting out sodas, drinking water, and reading good books and surrounding themselves with positive people, and that's you. So remember that, but remember first it comes back to you. Like it comes back to you learning that for yourself and mastering that within yourself. And I put a quote up this morning on an image I took from the sunrise this morning, and it said something like mastering others. I can't remember exactly what it says, but mastering others is great or something like that. but mastering yourself is true power. So I'll tell you guys from a vulnerable place without all the details, but I have truly, no one can master themselves completely, I don't think, or eventually you can maybe, but over the past year, that's been my main focus. And like there's almost nothing that can touch me on emotional level where I don't feel good enough or not worth it or not worthy. And I'll be honest with you, I had just recently, in 1 week's time, 2 of my coaches that strongly build just say like, I'm going to step back and not do this anymore. So before I would be like, oh man, like I suck. Like what is wrong with me? But it was truly to where I understood that they're going through some sort of emotion. They're going through some sort of fear or anxiety. And how can I help them? So instead of me saying, what's wrong with me? I immediately went into a service mode of how can I, what questions can I ask? How can I understand what they're going through in their life personally that makes them feel like this isn't for them, or whatever it is in that specific instance and circumstance. So I just wanted to share that from the beginning before I share what's working for me, because I think that's probably the biggest thing that's working for me. And it's not really like what you guys want to hear as far as like, okay, how are you running your challenge group, or how are you inviting people? But that really comes down to it. And one thing, one of my coaches, I was going to send her a message today, but she's struggling with something. And I'm going to address it right now because many of us address that. I faced it throughout my life, especially as a coach, is like, we'll call it the law of congruency. Okay. This specific coach that I'm working on mentoring, a strong leader, a very strong leader that has struggles, is very much like on Facebook and social media, casting the vision, showing what they've accomplished. Like, this is what Beachbody's I've accomplished, and they've accomplished it. So there's proof in the pudding that it works. They're casting vision. They're showing how their life is transformed, all positive, putting it out into the world. But that's one side. On the other side, there's these messages to me saying, I don't know if this is possible for me. I don't know if, I don't see how this business model will work if I'm the only one doing work and nobody else is doing work, right? Do you see what I mean by congruency? There's two people here. They're not congruent. Congruent means like completely aligned. I don't know the exact definition, but congruency means you're completely aligned. So like the answer is so simple. It's hard to see when you're in the struggle. The answer is so simple, but the answer is so simple in that form that if you're this person here and you're a different person here, that's not congruency, and people sense that, or the universe senses that, or God knows that, and will not give you the gifts and expand your gifts like you want until you can become congruent, become aligned. And the same thing will go for my life. There's times when I didn't hit goals that I wanted because I said I was this and I was acting like this, right? So why am I not happy, or why am I not advancing to the point I want to be? Because I'm not congruent. So when you can get to a place of congruency where your mindset, your actions and your mindset and who you are align, that's when the magic starts to happen. So I just wanted to share that example as well, because it's a conversation I'm going to have as well with one of my coaches. But I know I've faced that before, and this coach is facing that. So most likely one of you guys is facing that as well. The same thing will go for writing out goals or posting on social media. Like I'm going to lose these next 50 pounds, but then like you wake up and you're like, I'll never be that. I'm a disgusting pig, or whatever it is you say about yourself, right? People say the worst stuff about themselves. Like I've always been fat. I'm always going to be fat. How can I inspire somebody if I've always been this person? So see, there's not congruency there as well, where it's like, I'm going to change my life and inspire people, but then you're telling yourself this thing. So I think one of the best ways to like become very self-aware of that is just imagine if you had a megaphone up to your thoughts. Because this is how it works. Imagine that your Facebook audience that you're trying to inspire, your challenge group that you're trying to inspire, your Coach Basics that you're trying to lead, your team page you're trying to lead, your prospects that you're trying to convince or help them understand the value of what we have. Imagine if they didn't just see what you post or the video that you make, but there's like a megaphone to your head, to your brain, and they hear everything that you say about yourself or about what's going on in your current life or what's going on or about them, right? So I think that's a good way, is to really check yourself and hold yourself accountable, to be like, okay, so man, if what I just thought about for the last hour or last 2 hours was projected onto a Facebook Live video and all of my followers could see it, would I be adding value to them and helping them become a better version of themselves? Or would I be a part of the problem that I'm trying to help solve? So there's another quick point of advice for what's working for me, is living a life of congruency, living exactly who you say you are, and being 100% vulnerable. That's number one. And then number two, I can't even remember what we talked about at the beginning. I've just been so excited about it. No, changing your state, making sure that you understand people's emotions, that you recognize that what your home base emotion is, and like how you can not feel that, how you can get away from dwelling in that place and living in a better place. And the better place, honestly, is love. It is in a place of love and acceptance and appreciation and gratitude for what you do have. So, wow, I just went on a preaching mode. Now let me tell you what's working. Like technical, that's like the mentality version of what's working for me, okay? So here's what's working. I'm going to brag for a minute, okay? I'm going to be boastfully humble, as Mike Greenberg says. Okay. I have two lists right here. I'm going to go through them quickly. I wish I had the photos, but right now they're on my blog, but it would take a long time. This is for the past 3 months, okay? This is what's working. Gemma King in 2 weeks, 25 with T25, lost 12 pounds and 6 inches. Brooke in the past year has lost 52 pounds, gone from 250 to 198. Andresa has lost 10 pounds and 10 inches. Andre de Pilar finished her workout program, lost 5 pounds, and fits into her clothes that she couldn't fit into before having babies. Penny Feasy finished 21-day fix, lost 5 pounds. Paul Taylor added 6 pounds of muscle, which he's been trying to do forever. Rob did P90. He went from 95 kilograms to 87 kilograms. Chris Pandolfo just completed T25, 60 days, lost 45 pounds. Leanne Richardson did Insanity, lost 1 stone, got her daughter also started on a workout program with her. Joe C, in 4 weeks, has done and not missed any days of max 30, lost 2 inches off her waist and hips. Hannah has been doing her journey with me for 4 months, lost 18 pounds with Pio and Hammer and Chisel postpartum. Nick, her husband, 10 weeks, lost 12 pounds with Hammer and Chisel. Raven, with T25, lost 10 pounds. Jennifer changed her mindset, never missed any workouts, and went from a place where she hated working out to loves her workouts every day. Jake Finley lost 18 pounds. His resting heart rate went from 70 to 48. He couldn't run a 1K 3 months ago without stopping, and he now can run a 5K in 25 minutes. He's now doing 225 in Sean's week. Ann Hall lost 10 kilograms doing Shift Shop, and she's now doing 22-minute hardcore. Chris Forrest lost 14 pounds doing T25. James McLaren lost 2 stone doing P90X3. These ones I don't have the final numbers back. Sorry. But they completed their program, and so I have a message out to them asking them for their updated picture and their stats. But I have Paige. I just posted her on my blog. You can check her out. She's one of our coaches, Paige Luft. I have Claire Gibbons. She finishes her program on the 7th. Allie Joyce, I posted on my Facebook yesterday. You'll have to check her out. She's in her 50s. Phenomenal transformation. I have Leon Richardson and I have Vanessa Arellano, who all completed their program start to finish and got results. And they're submitting their results in the Beachbody Challenge. Oh, and by the way, every single one of these person has submitted their results to get their t-shirt in the Beachbody Challenge. And every single one of these people I started helping 3 months ago. Okay? Except for Brooke. She started a year ago. So why am I sharing that with you? because this is what's working. I've been the most happy and most excited about my work, despite whatever challenges there may be in running a business. This has been the most fulfilling 3 months of my career, and it comes from seeing these people start and finish their programs. And for the past 5 and 6 years, I struggled with getting people to start and finish their programs. And one thing that inspired me to focus on this was Summit. I was at Summit, and they did a random award they've never done before, where they brought up somebody. Like, the most emotional part of the celebration at Summit is the $100,000 grand prize and the health prize. Those are my favorite parts of Summit, is watching those. I like watching it better than the millionaires, the elites. I like watching those weight loss stories. And then they gave this award to a coach who had the most customers submit results in the Beachbody Challenge. And I was like, that's it. Like, you know how you go to Summit and there's all these trainings and you're looking for your answer? That was my answer. Like, okay, how do I make 2017, 2018 better? Where's my answer? And it was the first year I got to sit in workshops and I didn't teach, so that was awesome. So I'm there with my notebooks, and I was sitting there, and that's when it hit me. I was like, that's it. I need to make sure I'm a Beachbody coach. I need to make sure that my people are starting the program, submitting their results, getting results, and falling in love with the program. So that's what's working for me. Honestly, when My Challenge Tracker came out, I started running the My Challenge Tracker. You guys are helping me. A few guys are helping me as admins running the My Challenge Tracker. But here is my decision. I want you guys to know what I'm doing. I'm right. This is just me. You don't have to follow what I do. But I'm not going to use the My Challenge Tracker app right now anymore after this month. The reason is I feel it's like, and I'm going to explain why. I feel like it's great accountability one-on-one. Like, if Juliana posts, I see her Shakeology log, I see her workout. But I don't feel the sense of community. The sense of community where everybody feels like, this is awesome. You're doing this, I'm doing this. You're doing awesome. Congrats, where people support each other. I don't feel that. Inside of that, there's less connectedness. That's a great word for it, Juliana. So I'm going to step away from it. The time that I'm going to tell you the 2 times that I felt the most successful. Notice I didn't say I made the most money or was the highest rank. The 2 times I felt most successful and fulfilled in my work, because in all honesty, guys, you know, whether it's a 6-figure business or $1 million business with Beachbody, if you're not fulfilled and don't enjoy what you do, no amount of money can make you happy. So I would rather do something that's fulfilling. And fulfilling for me was seeing what happened right here. Because I'm going to tell you what happened because of this right here. This happened because I have a free fitness group. Also, one thing about all these names that I listed to you, ask me how much money I've made from any of those guys. And I'll just tell you, $0. Zero. $0.00. And I'll tell you why. All these people live in the UK. They can't sign up with me. I supported them in a challenge group. The challenge group takes me 15 minutes a day, right? I private message, answer them when they answer me. But they're in a challenge group, and they're motivating each other. And I'm there doing live video once a day or posting once a day and supporting them. But I've made $0 from it. Yeah, I'm the most rewarded. Okay? But here's what that does. These people, they are Beachbody advocates. And what is a Beachbody advocate? Somebody like Carrie Hill shared in my personally sponsored coach page the other day. We need to become like evangelists, she said. And it's where you will go out and you know you have something that will change someone's life, and you just can't help but share that with them. And not share that with them so that you can get personal gain from it. That's not an evangelist. Share that with them is so that they can get it and they can change their life, and they can be bettered by what you're offering them. That's what an evangelist was. So it's like, that's pretty cool, the way that Carrie worded that. But like, I felt like that kind of person here because I didn't receive anything from them other than thank yous. And that felt very rewarding. I mean, obviously now the work has been put in. They're going to become coaches. They're going to buy challenge packs. They're going to get Shakeology. Like, I'll be paid for that later. But guys, isn't that the way that we should be doing things anyway? Where you add value to people, support people, give them like if you follow Gary Vee, give them tons of value, support, motivation, content that'll help change their life. And then one day they see that, and Gary says, one day comes, they're just like, you've given them so much, like they almost feel guilty not buying from you or joining your cause because you've given them so much and they transform their life so much. So what's working for me really is all I talked about in the mentality part in the beginning of this call. But then what's really working is focusing on getting people results. Okay. And I remember Carl putting up a stick-it note once when I was a brand new coach. It said, how to coach. And I don't remember the first one said, but the second one said, help people whether they buy from you or not. It was a stick-it note, an orange, like a yellow sticky note. And I saved it on my blog post somewhere. I know I have it somewhere. But I'm going to take you guys back real quick to the beginning of my journey. How did Scotty start as a coach? The skeptic will never join Team Beachbody. I will not pay the $15 fee. There's no way in hell that I'm going to pay $128 for Shakeology. I'm not going to sign up for online scam. But what did Lindsay added value to me, believed in me, encouraged me. I continued my fitness journey like these guys without ever giving Lindsay a single dollar, right? And then one day I became a true Beachbody advocate and evangelist to where I had to let everybody know about how Beachbody changed my life. And then I started to help people. But I helped them before they ever bought anything from me. And what did I do? I set up a free group, okay? So take note of this. This works. And I'll tell you why it works, because it worked for me in 2010 and 11, and it's working for me now massively. I have 40 coach signups on October 19th. 40 coach signups. That's Success Club 80. I've never done that before. And that's if everybody signs up on that day. I've never done that before. So what I'm going to tell you guys works. It happened in 2010 and 11, and I am doing it again right now, and it's working. So in 2011, when I began my journey, when I didn't want to be a coach, I wanted to help people. And so I set up a free fitness group called the Staying Fit Family. And every single person that was like, I'm inspired, or yes, I want to stop drinking so much soda, all these things, all these changes they want to make that we're having private messages about in our invites, I added them to that group, and they were not required to buy anything from me. I would add them in. Hey, I want to welcome Juliana. She wants to accomplish this. And I don't say she's not ready to get Shakeology. She's not ready to do this. I just say what she wants. And I add her to the group and say she's a part of the team. And like, we're Team Dynasty and we've created this team. But I was thinking back, every single customer, I called them a part of our team. And whether they bought from us or not, they were a part of our team and in our group. And we helped each other. We supported each other. We had fun. Okay. Like, not just like a scripted template of 21-day fix, meal plan, challenge group guideposts. Those are all awesome. But we're like, okay, what are we going to do today? Let's see who can hold the plank the longest. And we do our workout and we just have fun. Guys, on 9/11 of 2000, before I became a coach, all of us did 911 of something. Like, I did 911 push-ups throughout the day. Some did 911 jumping jacks. But we had a common cause where we just challenged each other and had fun together. And how did I hit Success Club 10? When I finally signed up in April and then hit it in May, June, July. Most of those people came from that free group, the Staying Fit Family, that I helped people in. Jennifer Greenberg, my $1 million earning coach, she was in my free group called the Staying Fit Family, where we were just going to help people no matter what. Okay? So it works. That's what I did. It was very fulfilling, very rewarding. I couldn't wait to check into it every single day. So what I did when we announced the UK launch is I continued to do my invites here in the US and in Canada and build my business here and lead these team calls and lead you guys. But I began to make contacts in the UK. I joined my Fitness Pal UK groups, weightlifting groups in Scotland. I joined all these groups. I learned how to do an ad. It didn't work. I tried again. It didn't work. I watched a video, made an ad. It didn't work. I asked somebody that I saw their ad that's working, and I said, what's working? And he walked me through making an ad. And I made an ad, and through that ad and reaching out in Facebook groups, I have 160 people in a free fitness group in 3 months. 160 people I didn't know. So I want you to think about that right now, because today could be slate ground zero. I don't have any people. In 3 months, I could have 160. This guy, Christopher Pandolfo, that I mentioned, lost 45 pounds in the UK. I'm teaching him to do exactly what I did with him. He's lost 45 pounds. He has his own group of 60 people, and he built it in 60 days. You know? So he's built a group of 60 people that he's helping in a free fitness and accountability group. So I created this group 4 months ago, and every single person that came to me fearlessly asked them if they've ever heard about Beachbody. If they did, yes. Do you have one of the programs? They tell me if they do or if they don't. If they do, I ask them if they want to start it, or have you tried it and not finished it? And I get them, and if they have it and they want to do it, I start them on that. I don't try to sell them anything or sell them on Beachbody On Demand. But if they didn't have a program, I fearlessly said, you really need to try 21-Day Fix. It's on Beachbody On Demand. There's a 14-day free trial. Here's your link. And I just send it to them. And the majority of them, I got started on a link. And we're not connected to that. So they just get signed up with the Beachbody On Demand. They're doing Beachbody On Demand and getting results with it. Okay. So that's over the last 4 months. Every single person that comes in, I invite them to do a program they already have. I ask them if their friends have a program. I ask them if they have Beachbody On Demand or they know what Beachbody On Demand is. Talk to them about the 14-day trial, and then I want them to do 21-Day Fix or Shift Shop. Those are the ones I'm doing. Or T25. Those are the ones I'm focusing on. So I get them to do that, fearlessly invite them to do that. If they have objections, for example, you guys have to understand this part. There's this girl, for today on my follow-up list, she bought a 3-month membership to some online fitness app with videos called Fit8 or something weird like that. I've never heard of it before. And it's so easy to say, don't do that, get Beachbody On Demand, it's better. But what did I do? I said, you're in our fitness accountability group. I don't know how your app works, but figure out if there's a calendar or what workouts you're supposed to be each day. And I want you to check in with me each week on your progress. You're going to take before pictures right now in measurements, and we're going to create a transformation over the next, until that membership ends in November. Are you okay with me holding you accountable like that? So what's going to happen, guys, if I help her get results with Fit8 or whatever that app is over the next 3 months or 2 months, and that membership ends, what is she going to want to do if I help her right now? And the answer is she's going to want to do the next thing that I advise her to do, which will be Shift Shop or Sean Week or 21-Day Fix. So you guys, you have to get in the place where you're going to help people from the front no matter what. And what's working for me really well is this group atmosphere of a free fitness group, free fitness and accountability group. So what I'm doing is I'm getting everybody that I talk to that wants help in some way, I'm welcoming them into the group. Hey, welcome Juliana to the group. She wants to start her fitness journey. And I'll tell you something that's pretty magical. It takes time to do, but I've created it already in 4 months. If I can't help them figure out a program or commit, I will tag them in the post and say, hey, Juliana really needs to lose 40 pounds. Let's say I can't close them or whatever on getting Beachbody On Demand. I'll say, do any of you guys have any advice on a program that you think would help her lose 40 pounds? And like 10 of my people say, oh my gosh, in the last 3 weeks of T25, I've lost 12 pounds. In the last 21 days I've done T25 for 3 months, I've lost 45 pounds. Then all of a sudden, what are they doing? Scotty, how do I get T25? And I say, oh, that's on your Beachbody On Demand membership. And the group atmosphere can help you close and help you convince or whatever you want to say to your prospect. And so that's helping. That's something that's working really well, is that creating that atmosphere. It takes time, and it also takes private messaging and asking your people, or letting them know what you expect of them to do, like how it helps. So like, what did I do last week when I was training my UK coaches? I said, hey, we were talking about objections. So I teach them. I said, hey, when I comment and I say, hey, welcome this person, they need to lose 30 pounds. We're trying to help them figure out what to do. And you guys answered, that's me overcoming an objection using the stories of you guys. They're like, oh my gosh, like we didn't even realize we were doing that. Like we're trying to do this on our own. So that's one thing that a group's doing really well. And guys, what I'm going to do is it's going to be an ongoing group. So it's working so well for me with the UK. I know it will work in the US. It worked for me in 2010 and 2011 in the US. So I'm going back to that. That's what I'm going to go back to. With all of my US, Canada, UK prospects are all going to be together. So this UK group I have, once we launch officially in 21st, I'm just going to change the name to Team Dynasty Fitness Accountability Group, or whatever I come up with at that time. And then when I meet a new neighbor that moves in and they want help, they're coming into my free fitness accountability group. I'm going to help them, serve them, and then help them get onto a program. One other thing, a tip on that group that I have is at the top of the group, the pin post is how to submit your results to the Beachbody Challenge. So every time that I know someone's like on week 2 of 21 Day Fix, like, yes, I'm having the private message follow up with them, but I'm tagging them in that post so more people see that post as well. That says, I would tag Juliana and say, Juliana, you're finishing the Ultimate Reset in 5 days. Make sure that you use this link to submit your results. And so that's how I'm getting all of them also to submit the results. I'm following up with them. So that's working really well. And I'll tell you what, it feels really good. Because I'll be honest, there's been times in my journey where I've sponsored 5 coaches consistently. Let's say 5 coaches, not just challengers, for 6 months straight. And that means 30 coaches. And I know for a fact that all 30 of those coaches have never submitted a result to the Beachbody Challenge. And that to me is not rewarding at all. Okay. So it's not fun for me. It's not rewarding. It's not fulfilling. So I believe going back to these roots of getting people serving each other, helping each other in the community, fun atmosphere, and then they're submitting their results before they become coaches, or they know about it before they become coaches, and then they're still in there as they become coaches, as my challengers as well, that activity can duplicate to a place where every single customer and every single coach that we have is submitting results to the Beachbody Challenge, earning their free t-shirt, and is less afraid, I guess is the word too, of inviting people on this journey. Because Juliana, you're like the lucky one to be on my screen because I don't have everybody showing. I just have you for some reason, but now I got everybody. Is it much less scary to set up a phone call and try to close somebody on a challenge pack? Is it much easier just to say like, hey, you need to lose 30 pounds. Let me welcome you into this fitness group where we help you do that, right? And then let them see that, experience that. And then you still have to work on the close, right? But that first initial invite is so much easier, I believe, for you guys to bring them in, to experience the culture, experience and see firsthand. So it's not just you telling them it will work. They're seeing people post their results. They're seeing people changing their life in that excitement. So that's one thing that's working really well for me. And so I wanted to share that with you. I'm working on currently figuring out the best way to start my new coaches. Okay, that's a current thing. I want you guys to know what I do as a leader. I reached out to 3 people that I really look up to and asked for what kind of systems they're using and to set up a phone call with them. But I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with my UK people, because I told you I have like 40 coaches signing up that come from these groups. What I'm doing for them is so freaking simple. Like, for example, I have a team call with them right after this call at 1:30, and we'll all be together later, but I didn't want to overwhelm them with stuff before they became coaches. So the first thing I'm going to tell them on the call today is like Beachbody is bombarding them with trainings this week. It's like they're launching, so they're doing 2 trainings a week. And like I see them begin to do this thing that's like, oh my gosh, I missed that call. What? We got another call today. There's a call tomorrow. And they're like, what did that call say? I missed that. How does that work? And now what's happening? Before, all they were doing was working out, posting in the accountability groups, and inviting people to coach sneak peeks. That's all I train them to do. They know the basics of how to become emerald, how to become diamond, and what Success Club means, and what a sneak peek is, how to educate people on Beachbody. That's the only things I trained them on in the last 3 months. And now all of a sudden I see all this stuff and they're just like confused and everywhere and there's no focus. So there's a big lesson to that. I want to make sure that as you guys are training with the National Wake Up Call or listening to this call, that you're not jumping around to everything. Like, it's important to learn. It's important to be inspired. It's important to check in and feel a part of a community. Avoiding the overwhelm. That's all important. But keep the main thing the main thing. And what I'm sharing with you today, what's working is the main thing. Get your life in order. Make sure that you're living what you're teaching and preaching, that you're congruent in your thoughts with your actions, that you're doing your personal development, you're doing your workout, you're submitting your results, you're starting and finishing, you're inviting people into a free group and to coach sneak peeks, and that you are recognizing people. That's it. That is it. All the rest of it is just extra stuff to make you better at what you already do. So it's important because that's growing yourself. But all of that stuff doesn't really matter in the scheme of things. Like I could watch 20,000 Arnaud videos or Doug Moss or Carl Deichler videos, but unless I message these people and help them get results and hold them accountable and say, did you do your workout today? A business will never grow. And that's the basics of it. That's what so many people are missing. Learn the stuff because you have to grow yourself. But this is where it happens. This is where it happens. So this is what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And then the only other thing I'm doing right now is I am doing a coach sneak peek every 2 weeks. Okay. I'm running them with my personally sponsored coaches. Okay. Every 2 weeks, running them with my personally sponsored coaches. And I'm inviting fearlessly every single person in my fitness group to say, let's say it's Gemma, 2 weeks T25. This would be my invite to Gemma, which I've done this week. I had 2 invites. Gemma doesn't want to be a coach, doesn't know about it yet, but she's coming to meet Gabby and I when we're in Bristol at our coach meetup. So I'm inviting her to come with the coaches, even though she's not a coach, which is kind of like what? Inviting someone to a coach sneak peek. Our coaches are hanging out. We're talking about what we do. We invite people to come see. So I'm doing that in real life situations, and I'm doing that online. So Gemma got the invite to Bristol. She's coming to Bristol to hang out with the team. We're not going to train her on Beachbody coaching, but what is she going to see? She's going to see the community. She's going to see how passionate we are. She's going to be like, whoa, this is pretty cool, right? That's what happens inside of the Beachbody Coach Sneak Peek. So my invite to Gemma, this is what it would be. She's in the free group. She's never bought anything from me yet. She got Beachbody on Demand, the trial. 2 weeks of T25, lost 12 pounds. I'd be like, Gemma, this would be my message. I'd voice message her, Gemma, I'm super proud of you for losing 12 pounds and 6 inches already in just 2 weeks with the T25. I just realized that I've never really shown you why I'm helping you, why this is important to me that you get these results, and why I run that fitness accountability group. If I invited you to a group where I share what we do as coaches and why it's important to me that you get results, would you join it with no obligations? And what has Gemma said? Yeah. Or where do I need to be? Is it online? How long is it? Like all those questions. And I say it's a week-long group. You just check in once a day, watch the video. I'll tag you every day. You just see what it is we do, how it works, what are the programs we have that you could experience after T25, some nutrition options that might help you take you to the next level, how to earn your free t-shirt. All of that stuff is going to be covered. Would you like to be a part of that? And she says yes, and I add her to the group. And then that is how it's a coach opportunity. Then I teach her about Shakeology in there. I teach her about the coach opportunity. I teach her everything from submitting her results and educate her. So that is what's working for me. Run the free fitness group, invite people to the coach sneak peek. That's it. And like we're doing these team calls as far as training, right? And I tell you, I don't exactly know how I want to do coach basics right now. Like I'm running one right now, but I want to improve it. But just in testing with my friends in the UK, these people, here's what I did, just to give you guys an idea. And I did this once before 2 months ago. I said, hey, in their coach team page, I said, hey, I'm running a coach sneak peek. It starts on the 9th. I can't remember how I worded it. I need 9 or 10 people. I can't remember what I said. I need 10 people that will help me host the group. All you need to do is copy and paste an image and a post into the group on the day that you're assigned. 10 people. Count me in. I don't know technology well, but I'm willing to learn. Comment. What did I do? Then I took the coach template. I gave them the template in that same I edited that post, put the template, put the Google Drive with the images they can use. And then I put I put Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the start is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's how many posts there are in our Coach Sneak template. And it's 10. I put those dates and I put their name, each person to set in, tag them, and then I followed up with them individually, make sure that they know that they could see the template and that they know their day is to post. And that is how I'm training them as coaches. They're just going to get in the game. They're going to invite their friends. I taught them via live video how to invite their friends, just like I told you guys right now. Tell Gemma to come hang out with us in a group with no obligations. I taught them how to invite people, and then they're going to be the ones posting in the group. And that's how I'm training my coaches with them. And I have a couple of them that have done that with me in the past, and they have 4 or 5 people ready to join with them. And literally it all comes from them adding people to a free group, helping them get results, educating them on the Beachbody Coach opportunity in a sneak peek, and they're hosting the group with me. So that's what's working for me. If you're like, what is Scotty doing from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m.? Because that's my schedule right now. I am waking up, reading my personal development, working out, being very self-aware of my emotions and how I'm feeling, and changing the way I feel. You know what I did before this call? I put on some funky YouTube best upbeat workout music, and I was dancing like a fool because I was just kind of feeling like, oh man, I got the team calls coming up. Like my feelings were coming. These were my feelings, guys. Like, I wonder if anybody's going to be on. Like, I didn't see anybody in the team page comment that they'd be on except for like 2. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Like, those were my feelings. We all have those feelings. We all express, they come to us, right? But what I did what I'm learning in my personal development and being self-aware, being congruent with how I'm thinking and how I'm acting. And I had to force myself into that state. I had to snap myself out of that, break the pattern, which came with putting the music. And like, I was doing some weird like dance like this because I don't know how to dance. And Gabby and my kid walked in with a friend that I've never met, and they were just like looking at me. And then Gabby started dancing. So it's kind of cool to see like how like that is going to help you in your life, but it will also influence other people around you and help change their state. So that's what I'm doing. And then the rest of the day is helping these people and starting new conversations, inviting more people to join this awesome group and to transform their life and to try Beachbody On Demand, get the trial. Did you get the trial yet? No. Is there a reason that you couldn't access the trial? Like, just conversations. Remember, nothing's going to happen until you write Gemma and you say, Gemma, did you take your before picture? Or did you start your program yesterday like you said you were going to start? And holding people accountable. That's what's working for me, guys. I do need to get going because I have about 20 more follow-ups to do to invite people into Coach Sneak before I do my next little training call on handling objections. So I love you guys. Thanks for being here. One thing that I'm going to do, that I learned from Tony Robbins, I talked about it in the beginning. Like, I'm not an introvert. Like, I am, but I'm not. Like, how do I explain this? Like, that's something I've always claimed to be. Okay? So, and I keep saying that I am an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. That's why I attract introverts. But the fact of the matter is we can change, like, without changing our core values and beliefs, we can change who we are, like how we act and how we present ourselves to the world without changing who we are as people. Does that make sense? So like, I'm not introverted. I'm just naturally shy in front of people because I don't want to look like an idiot, or I've felt like I'd look like an idiot if I dance weird or if I do something awkward. Like, I've always felt like that through elementary, through high school, that I had to like be quiet and shy because that way I won't do anything weird and people won't think I'm weird and strange. So what do? I stay by myself. So guys, I don't care about that anymore. And one thing about that, so you guys can understand what I'm doing behind the scenes, we started a family vlog where we vlog our life, what our life looks like, what we're doing in our home, in our life. Like this morning, like, I'm doing it so that I can learn to express myself and not hide in fear of judgment. And the more that I'll do it, the less fearful I'll become. So if you're wondering, why is Scotty and Gabby doing a daily vlog or like like 3 or 4 vlogs a week about the family is because we're just going to get in front of the video and do like act how we do at home and not how we act in public. And what does that do? It goes back to congruency. We'll become more of truly who we are to the world outside, and we're going to attract more people that want to be like that and inspire the people that we already have to live up to that level of being who you truly are as well. So I'm not quiet. I'm not shy. I am an outgoing person that loves to meet people and experience life at the highest level. So with that being said, I love you guys. Thanks for being on here with us today. It's on Facebook Live and the Team Dynasty page, also on Zoom, which will be recorded and put onto YouTube as well. So I love you guys. Let's go out there and do that. Let's just work. And you guys heard it. Take some notes. And if someone on your team needs to hear this, share it with them. And let's go change some lives because I cannot do it alone. Okay. We'll see you guys.